enemy, when you think about it, that's so powerful, and its tentacles are so into everything that the only thing you can really do is hunker down and just kind of defend yourself. You know, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, we're at that spot right now. I wanted to mention, as I did earlier, that every one of these survival items has a science to it. You have to know something about it. You have to know what will work and what won't work, and which way to go, and what to buy, and brand names, and why one is better than the other and how it will function in the future. I've studied water. I know about water. I've studied air, but I know more about water than I do air. But I've studied lighting. LED lighting is the way to go. Batteries is the way to go. Solar cell. But you disconnect your solar cells. Every time you use them, you disconnect it. Keep it away from potential EMF pulses. Protect it. Generator, propane is more desirable than gasoline. Gasoline has a place. Put Sta-Bil in the gasoline to preserve it. You know, everything is like that. Your food is like that. You have to know what to vacuum pack, what to do in boiling water, what will preserve, what won't preserve, liquids. You just have to know the mechanics of every item that you're touching.
How do you stabilize fuel without stabilizer, though? And that's going to be tough to find.
Well, Walmart has it now at $10 a bottle. It's called Sta-Bil. Stabil, I believe it is.
And I believe they're very small bottles. From what
Well,
I've seen,
it's 2 ounces
very
per...
small bottles, larger ones. Yeah.
2 ounces per 5 gallons. The gasoline cans at Walmart used to be $3.50 a piece. They're now $9.50. They're $17.50 at Northern Tool and Supply. So they're going up in price. Everything is starting to go toward hyperinflation right now.
That's right. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it more so than anything else in that type of merchandise and that type of product.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess with time being so, yeah, it is. It's mind-boggling, and it actually takes the breath away from me. But as far as water and wells and things like that, I know you talked about the deep wells and the shallow wells, and you've done a lot of study in water. How does somebody say, just your average Joe Schmuckatelli go out and say, you know what, I'm going to go dig me a well today?
It's a tough job. I don't think you can do it.
No, I didn't think you could either.
No.
Do it by themselves, you know?
There's one man in Richmond. It's a large city. One man that has the equipment to dig a shallow well.
Wow.
Now, in most parts of the country, you can't get by with a shallow well. That's 30 feet and you hit water. Most of the country, you have to have deep wells, which is a small diameter hole that goes down 200-300 feet, and you put the pump at the bottom of the 300 feet and run electrical wires down there, and it's a chore. And then when you get the water up, you have to have it tested and make sure the iron content is not high and the pH is up. If the pH and iron content is off, then you have to put tanks in and doctor that to make the pH come up. One of the most important things with water is the pH, by the way. Remember that. The most important thing with water is the pH. It should be alkaline. It should be alkaline. It should be over 7.4. It should be 8 alkaline. It alkalines your body. All disease breeds in a acid environment. Coca-Colas are 2 on a scale of 14. They're very acid. Things that taste good generally are acid, and it drives the entire body acid. Cancers and sickness breeds in acid. So you drive your body alkaline. Now, in the future, when society starts breaking down, it's going to be very important to keep the body alkaline, or you're going to be sick. And the same thing with animals and pets. Keep them alkaline.
How do you do that?
Well, there's little machines available. Probably the best one. Do a Google search, and it's Ion Life. I-O-N. Second word is L-I-F-E. And they're little machines that fasten to your faucet, and you run the water through, and it electrically, through an electrolysis process, separates the water and makes it throws the acid water down the drain, and you can keep the alkaline water. They're a little pricey. They run about $1,400, but they're good machines, and it'll keep you healthy, and it'll keep your animals healthy too. It's very important to do that. Even the doctors don't realize, and the people at the water plants don't realize the importance of health and alkaline water. Water plants drive their water alkaline by dumping chemicals in the water, and they think they're saving the pipe from corrosion. They have no knowledge whatsoever of the benefit to the body. But the electrolysis process of these little ion life machines is enormous. It's enormous. They come out of South Korea. South Koreans developed the technology some time ago.
Let me ask you this, Griff. Do you think you could get the same type of effect by putting, I know that citrus will help alkali your body and neutralize the acid, but, I've owned a swimming pool, and one thing that you do is put soda ash in your swimming pool to bring the pH up, if you need to bring it up, if it's too acidic. Is that something you can do and still consume it?
Well, you can dump baking soda in the water, and it'll buffer the water. It'll bring it, if you're high, it'll bring it down. If it's low, it'll bring it up to somewhere above 7.4. It'll put it in the alkaline. But there seems to be a definite definition. It seems to be two definitions for the electrolysis pH water and the chemically induced alkaline water. They're different. The electrolysis process has a profound health benefit to the body, and it helps with the aerosols. Another thing I might mention you'll find interesting, the listeners will find interesting, one thing that's common across the country is acid reflux.
Right.
And I think it has a lot to do with the aerosols and the lethal atmosphere that we're forced to work in. The acid reflux is all over the country. The doctors give a little pills for the condition, and but the real way to do it is to look at the pH again, the pH in the stomach. We find that there is an apple cider vinegar called Bragg, B-R-A-G-G, B-R-A-G-G, Bragg, made in California. It's organic apple cider vinegar. And if you take like a tablespoonful of that every day, you won't have acid reflux.
Really?
And
I'm gonna have to tell my old man that, because he suffers horribly with that.
Yeah. Well, we've just taken care of his acid reflux. You can find it in health food stores, and some of the better grocery stores will have it in the organic section. Bragg. It's $5 for a big bottle. It's not at all expensive.
That's outstanding. I can't wait to call him.
See, we stumble across these little things as we look at the water and the atmosphere and some of the other things that are happening.
Now, how toxic does chemtrailing actually make the atmosphere? Like, what kind of concentrations are we looking at when they spray this barium salt in the atmosphere?
Well, we looked at one. You see, it's very difficult to get a lab to do the sampling and sign their name to the paper when they realize what they've got hold of. So that's been a problem. We did get one report out of Arizona. How can I tell you over the phone here? Let's see. If the barium levels in a city, if the EPA said the barium levels should be 1 inch up on the chart.
Okay.
We measured the barium in the cities at 15 inches.
Wow.
And the aluminum is pretty much the same. It's off the paper.
Let me bounce this off you too, because I've heard aluminum has a direct correlation to Alzheimer's disease and a lot of these brain problems. Do you think that has a tie-in with the chemtrail program?
I don't think they're spraying it for that reason, but I think that the barium and the aluminum is lethal to any living creature over a period of time. You see, it'll react different in different people. Everybody's systems, bodies, the chemistry their numbers are different, so you're going to get different reactions. Babies are